Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are about to jump into our free training today on how to end procrastination and self-sabotage forever and rewire your brain for ultimate success. Now, before we get started, I'd like to ask you a few quick questions to make sure that you're in the right place, okay? All right, so are you someone who's currently feeling stuck in your career or trapped in a dead-end job? Are you not earning what you need to be to live the lifestyle that you want? Or maybe you find yourself stuck in debt? Do you feel trapped in a cycle of bad habits like procrastination and unhealthy eating or overspending or unnecessary worry? And do you want to fix your relationship to find the love of your life or even improve your social life? Or do you have a big goal or dream that you want to accomplish, but you just don't know how to get started? So you may stay stuck in mediocrity. Or maybe you just feel like you're missing a sense of true purpose and direction, and you want to find out if there's more to life. Now, if any of this rings true with you, then yes, you are absolutely in the right place. And I'm so excited to have you here as we have an amazing session lined up. And given the uncertain situation the world is facing right now, well, there couldn't be a better time for you to gain this crucial information that we're about to share with you. Because yes, a lot of people are stuck or at least anxious right now. A lot of people are concerned about their health, their career and their finances, and their safety and security. But just remember, when the world around you seems unstable, you can always dive inward to find the strength, the healing, the clarity, and the answers that you need to pull through and emerge even stronger from any situation. Now, that's our biggest purpose for today's session. It's about making sure you have access to all of your natural inner power. And it's about retuning yourself. So instead of being dragged down even further by disempowering patterns, you're showing up every day with beliefs, habits, and programming that protect you and uplift you, no matter what's going on around you. Now, more specifically, here's what we'll be covering today. Now, we'll be diving deep into the practical tools and techniques that everyone from movie stars to CEOs to work-at-home mums and dads have used to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges in their lives and achieve their wildest dreams. Now, we'll even be sharing some leading-edge neuroscience technology, something that the world's top achievers have paid thousands of dollars to use in their own lives, but that you will get to experience completely free today. And I'll be leading you through an exciting hands-on exercise where you'll see what it feels like to rewire your mind and undo a negative habit like procrastination using a special technique that's already worked for millions of people. Now, I do want to say that our time together today could honestly mark a huge turning point in your life. So I want to be sure of a couple of things on your end before we dive in. So let me just quickly ask you, are you in a peaceful space with minimal distractions? And do you have a great internet connection? And are you ready to pay close attention to what we're about to show you and maybe even take some notes? You are? Great, awesome. All right, now that that's out of the way, it's important to stay present and focused with me all of the way to the end, because that's how we're going to create lasting change for you, all right? Okay, now when I say lasting change, here's what I'm really talking about. Now, I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow feeling free from self-sabotaging thoughts and patterns like fear and hesitation that have been holding you back for so long, with a knowing deep in your heart that you can now accomplish anything that you wish because your inner turmoil is completely gone and all you feel is empowered and confident and happy. You now know that your brain is your number one ally, a trusted friend who's on your side and automatically primed to help you choose habits, choices, and thoughts that automatically lead you to a healthier, happier, and more productive and abundant version of who you are. Does that sound amazing? Well, that's what you have to look forward to after today's session. All right, now I want to begin the teachings by first introducing our very, very special guest, Mr. John Assaraf. And to give you a quick background on John, besides being a very good friend, John is also one of the leading mindset and behavior experts in the world today. Now, he's built 5 multi-million-dollar companies. He's written 2 New York Times bestsellers and has been featured in 8 movies now, including the movie The Secret and The Quest for Success, which is actually with Richard Branson and the Dalai Lama. Now, he's even been featured several times on the Larry King Live Show and the Ellen DeGeneres Show. And John's latest book, which is called Inner Size, The New Science to Unlock Your Brain's Hidden Power, helps you to recognize and release any mental blocks and emotional blocks so that you can reach your full potential. So he's been the perfect guest to be joining us today. How are you, John?
I'm doing great. It's so great to be here.
Awesome. Now, I do want to point out that after all of that, John is also a really humble and genuine and very caring person. So whether it's just because that's how he is naturally or because of his roots as growing up as a tough kid on the streets who at one time couldn't even see a future for yourself. Now, I can vouch for the fact that John's one and only mission in life is to help you break through any barriers that may be holding you back mentally so that you can live the brightest and most exciting future possible. What do you say, John? Does that sound about right?
It sounds perfectly right. I love to help people have breakthroughs. That's why I love the work that you do and the Mind Movies does. It's all about lifting as we climb. So as we discover new ideas and ways and techniques to break free and to break through, we love to share it with others.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Natalie, you're right. I came from a loving family. My father was a cab driver. My mother worked at a local department store. They struggled for money. They had a terrible relationship. And I struggled in school. I failed school. And so I was behind by 2 years by the time I was in grade 5. Wow. And I got into a lot of trouble with the law. I got in a lot of trouble on the streets. I got into a lot of trouble trying to fit in and trying to make ends meet. And I had, no goals. I was not moving anywhere fast except either jail or the morgue. And fortunately for me, when I was in my 18th, 19th birthday, I was introduced to one man who pointed me in the right direction of how to set some goals for my life. And then more importantly, how to let go of all the mental and emotional blockages and obstacles I had about my self-esteem and self-worth, about my limiting beliefs, and around fears I had that I wasn't going to be able to succeed in life. And he was able to help me shift. Basically what we're going to do today is help you shift your mindset and your skill set so that you can follow a path towards your goals and dreams.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, you have come a long way from where you were before to where you are now,
Oh my God, I was able to, with the right guidance and support, turn my life around and make something, that's meaningful for me and hopefully purposeful. And what I also want to recognize as well, and a lot of people don't know about you, and I've got to say that, you are one of those people who've inspired me as well. And just so our listeners, just so those of you watching or listening, most people don't know that Natalie, her friends call her Nat, that's number one, and she's hugely influential in the personal growth space with the Transformation Leadership Council. She's an author, entrepreneur, a researcher, and she's highly successful in her own right. And using the skills and the knowledge she's gained over 20 years, she now teaches people all over the world, from schools in Africa to schools all over the world to individuals like me and you. And today we get to share together with you so we can literally help you reprogram the way you think and your brain so that you can achieve much more success faster and easier than ever before using some advanced mental and emotional techniques. So let's have some fun.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to today because we are going to be really diving deep into how the brain works, how we can rewire that so that you are set up for success. Now, I remember when we first met, that was back at the beginning when we'd started Mind Movies.
That's right.
Yeah, when we were just launching the software.
I remember we were sitting at my home in Rancho Santa Fe in my backyard having dialogues and filming, very similar to what we're doing today.
Yeah.
And that began, some of what Mind Movies was doing and helping millions of people around the world. And that was a game-changing moment for Mind Movies, for you, for your business partners, and for so many people. And what's amazing as well is you've reached over 5 million people already.
I know, actually 5.8 million.
5.8 million, wow.
It still blows my mind.
Yeah, that is incredible.
But, I'm so grateful that we've actually been able to help so many people and people like you that are watching right now. But here's the important thing about that. So I actually have a similar story to yours, John. I actually grew up in a country town. I was one of 8 children in Australia. And we didn't have a lot of money. I mean, we weren't poor, but we didn't have a lot of money. So, of course, I had to really believe in myself as well. Like, there was not a lot of things in my environment that said that I would end up living in America, inspiring, millions of people around the world. That was not in the thing there. So I actually really had to, change the way that I think and really make sure that my mindset was set to success. Now, did I create a life beyond my wildest dreams? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
But, I can remember really being told as a kid, you come from a big family, I'm getting teased for, not wearing the latest clothes and all of that. And, my programming was, you're not going to amount to anything, and I kind of overcome all of that.
I know what that feels like intensely.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my question is, has that ever happened to you? But I'm here, John's here, and which just shows you that if you're listening today and you feel like you're starting from zero, or if you've had big dreams and goals and everyone around you says that you're crazy and you're never going to achieve them, then what John and I actually are going to share with you today is going to change your world. And most importantly, it's going to give you the unshakable belief in yourself that you need to succeed.
In fact, I would say you should mark today on your calendar with a timestamp, because you're going to be able to look back when people ask you, how did you accomplish all of this? How did you become this successful? Was there a moment that everything changed? And you're going to be able to point back to today and say, that is when everything changed. That was the day I started believing in myself. The day I learned how to make my brain do exactly what I wanted it to do to help me achieve my goals and dreams, instead of what I've always done, which was to procrastinate and to sabotage me at every turn. Speaking of which, Natalie, should we dive in?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's not waste any more time. Okay, so this is why I'm so excited to have John with us on the training, because what we're going to do is show you how the things that have been holding you back in the past don't have to do that anymore. So what kind of things am I talking about? Well, let's take a look. Now, right here, I want to be sure that you're paying attention, because I'm about to ask you some questions, okay? So I want you to listen to the following sets of patterns and answer yes or no in your mind. Right, so do you ever put off important tasks and break promises to yourself, which then brings about stress and anxiety and depression, and even worse, causes you to miss out on some amazing opportunities in your life? Do you avoid people and situations that might make you feel uncomfortable, that's leaving you feel disempowered and not good enough, and believing that you'll never have the life that you want? Do you secretly feel unworthy of success or great relationships or financial abundance, so you end up settling for average? Do you wish you had more confidence so you could actually achieve those goals that you've been putting off because you're scared of failure, which then leaves you feeling unsatisfied and unhappy? Now, if you said yes at any point, first know that even having one of these challenges can easily derail your life. It can sabotage your potential and keep you in a negative holding pattern like for years. But what's important to realize is that these ways of behaving are not really you. They don't define who you are, your true nature, or even how you will show up in the next couple of days, or weeks, or months, or years. You see, every one of these things are simply thoughts traveling along neurological pathways in your brain that your parents, your friends, your teachers and mentors, and even the media have programmed into you, often without even realizing. But the truth is that many of these habitual patterns come from way back in your childhood, normally between the ages of around 2 and 6, when your brain was like a sponge absorbing everything around it. Now, the good news is, just like how these patterns can be programmed into you, they can also be programmed out of you, which is exactly what we're doing today. So I want you to know that without a shadow of a doubt, that as of now, all of these things are going to be problems of the past for you. Because with John here with us, we're going to show you how to unwire them and start over fresh by creating new neural pathways that will support you instead of sabotage you. So first of all, John, let's start with a simple question. So why do we do this to ourselves? Like, why, when we know that we want to eat healthy and we want to, be rich, or we want to have wealth and happiness in our lives, Why do we just can't seem to be able to do the things that we know we should be doing?
Well, I think it's really important to understand that it's not like we're doing it to ourselves to hurt ourselves. The thing that I like to help everybody understand is there's a part of our brain that can choose all the things that we want. We want to have a nice lifestyle. We want to make more money. We want to give more to charity. We want to spend more time with our children or our loved ones. We want to travel the world. We want nice things for ourselves, including health. But the part of our brain that wants these things and hopes for these things and prays for these things isn't the part of our brain that's actually driving the majority of our perspective and behaviors.
Right.
So everybody's heard about, the conscious brain and the subconscious brain. But how many people really have taken that knowing and have actually done something with it to make sure that our subconscious brain, the things that you discussed earlier, the things that you learned from your parents, your teachers, your experiences, the books that you've read, TV shows that you've watched, the stuff that's been imprinted onto your brain for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, if that's what's driving the show, it doesn't matter what the conscious goals or desires are. That's almost like looking at your computer and saying, software, change. Software, I want you to change. Change now. You have to go into the software of the subconscious mind in order to reprogram that so that it matches the conscious vision, goals, and dreams that you have. And when you do that and you create this alignment, that's when things start to be effortless. Right? Not effortless, because there's always work to do to be in good shape, to eat well, to be in a great relationship, to make money takes work and effort. But it becomes effortless. And that's when you're in flow. And when people are not in flow, not in resonance, it's effort more, it's stress, it's struggle, it's hard work. And even though they're working hard against their subconscious programming, which wants to pull them in the other direction.
Right. And it's the most powerful part of our brain, right?
It is by far the most powerful part of our brain. It's the control center, of your autonomic nervous system. It's the control center of all your automatic thoughts. It's the control center of your emotions. It's the control center of your habits. It's the control center of your perspectives and paradigms. And a lot of people just confuse goal setting or having goals with what does it really take to achieve goals.
Right. From my understanding, the subconscious mind is running the show most of the time.
Yeah.
So even though we, like you said, we have these conscious dreams and goals and desires to have a certain outcome in our life, there seems to be something in the background or something that keeps sabotaging us from moving forward. And I can totally relate to that. I was there in my life. I know that when Glenn and I first got together and we were, struggling with all these different businesses. And I know that we had 4 different businesses we were running at the same time. We were working like 80 hours a week. And I remember looking at my bank account and going, I don't understand why we're still struggling. And so even our action was in alignment with this awesome future that we wanted and this lifestyle that we wanted. But for some reason, we just couldn't get there. And then I realized that after doing a work with a friend of mine, that I had been so heavily influenced by my parents' behavior and my upbringing around money, which, there was not a lot of it, that's what was actually holding me back, those little pieces of programming in my mind. And so I actually was able to release a whole ton of them.
Right.
This was in April of 2008. And no, that was in February of 2008. And then April of 2008, we came over to the US. And then September 2008, we had our huge launch, which reached, we did $1 million launch. And we got to meet millions of people around the world. And it really was put us on the map. But I had to clear that programming first.
And, earlier you had talked about, unwiring.
Yes.
Right? And what a lot of people don't recognize or realize is these are terms that we use to explain some neuroscience, which says, when we're children and we're learning from our parents, we're not born with any beliefs, any habits, any perspectives, any ideas about how much money we could earn or not earn, what kind of lifestyle we can have or not have. But by the very fact that our brains create these connections and neural patterns that become reinforced over time, and then we behave and act and expect in ways that are consistent with those patterns in our brains, what we also now know, according to the latest neuroscience, is based on the science of neuroplasticity and our brain's ability to disengage disempowering patterns and create new patterns, new cellular connections. And with some spaced repetition and some technology and some evidence-based methods, you can create a new pattern deliberately that then goes to work for you as it sets aside the patterns that are working against you right now.
Yeah.
So the first thing, that I say to people is don't blame yourself, don't shame yourself, don't feel guilty. It's just, our parents didn't know better, our teachers didn't know better, science didn't know better 30, 40, 50 years ago, but now we do know better.
Yeah. And
now we can be more in control. So we can let go of the past, we can be in the present moment and create the future that we want, but it starts today.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, so my understanding too is that neuroplasticity is the ability for our brains to be able to create these new neural pathways.
That's right.
That have thoughts that are aligned with the future that we do want to create.
Right. And we are projecting every one of our patterns onto this canvas of the world or our lives. And a lot of people think that things are happening out there, but we're actually just like a movie, that's being played onto the canvas called our results.
Yeah.
And so if we want to have a different future, I always like to use an example, since we're talking about movies and things like that. If a Hollywood producer tapped you or me or anybody that's watching on the shoulder right now and said, hey, listen, we have this new script that Tom Hanks wrote or Meg Ryan wrote, and you would be perfect for the role.
Right.
Even though you don't know a word that's on the script, even though you don't know how you'd have to act, even though you don't know if you need to gain weight or lose weight, if you committed to learning that script and you had, Hollywood actor coaches to work with you and you had a team around you to learn that script, could you in 6 months or 12 months be the script? Could you act and know every line and every incantation if you practiced it? And the answer is, of course you could.
Right.
Right? And so what if you could start to see yourself earning more, being healthier, having the relationship of your dreams, not sabotaging your success, traveling around the world, living in your nice home that you really want, buying things for your children or friends or the charities that, make your heart and life feel better. Could you build that image in your mind first?
Yeah.
And then follow through with action steps towards that? Of course you could. And that's really what we're talking about, is building a new image in somebody's mind.
Yeah, because what most people do is they're focusing on what's happening now.
Correct.
And that's the movie that's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so that you have your thoughts, your neural pathways, actions are all in alignment with what you're focusing on. So when they see everything that's not going well and anything that's going badly, then it's just perpetuating more of that in their life.
And reinforcing the very pattern that is not helping them get the result that they want.
Right, exactly.
So
exactly.
By not wanting it, you're focusing more on it.
That's right. And creating more of it.
And creating more of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I used to really beat myself up as well because, I'd set impossibly high standards for myself. But, and then every time I'd make a mistake, I would just completely beat myself up. But that's the other thing, when we have this negative self-talk that we're just consistently putting ourselves down, then what we're doing is we're keeping ourselves in this low energetic spiral.
Right.
So that we can't get ourselves out of it. So, I mean, we have to realize that, I think everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to. And so all these lessons that we're learning right now are part of how we grow as a person, and how we actually be able to create the life that we do want because we're becoming that version of that person.
If we are aware and we make adjustments, we grow. Mm-hmm. If we're unaware or we're aware and we don't make adjustments, we stay the same. We just get older.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's what most people experience, is they become, another year older on their birthday and then 5 years older 5 years from now and 10 years older. And they go, nothing's changed except I've gotten older. And that's because they didn't deliberately change.
Right.
And so patterns reinforce themselves over and over and over again. And that's the way the brain actually conserves energy.
Right.
So it takes effort. So like I said earlier, we don't want a lot more work, but we want to make what we do effortless.
Yeah.
If we're doing the right amount of work, just making small adjustments on a consistent basis means that in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, we're not the same person. We don't think the same, we don't feel the same, we certainly don't do the same.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that when we can change that program and change those thoughts and neural pathways, it's easier for us to not do those habits. Like, we don't have the desire to do the habits that are holding us back. And the things that we do need to do, what we find is that it's easier for us to do them. Like, I remember when I was struggling with my weight, I would just hate getting up in the morning going to the gym. I would hate it.
Yeah.
But then once I, started reprogramming my mind, I couldn't wait to get up in the morning. And it's like, well, and all that was shifting was the way that I was thinking in the program that I had about it.
Habits are our brain's way of conserving energy. And there's a term in the neuroplasticity world or in the brain research we're called automaticity. And so anytime we have, a thought followed by an emotion followed by a behavior, we're activating certain neurochemicals in our brain.
Right.
And if we reactivate those neurochemicals, whether it's something constructive and positive or something destructive and negative, our brain says, since you're doing this pattern so many times, I'm just going to make it automatic to conserve energy, which is the brain's number 2 highest function, is to conserve energy, and it's programmed to conserve energy.
Right.
And so one of the keys is to be able to create empowering habits, thought, emotional, behavior habits that match the goals that you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. The thing that I do know is that it's never too late. You're never too old, you're never too late to be able to reprogram your mind or to create these new neural pathways. So that, we have people that we've been working with that are in their 80s.
Yeah.
Well,
it's interesting you say that. My mother's 87, my father's 89, and about 2 years ago, we really thought my mother was going to move to the other dimension. And she was lethargic, not healthy, not doing well, early stage dementia and Alzheimer's. And when I'd go and see her, she lives in Montreal, Canada, she would just be sitting in her chair, hardly talking, looking up at the walls like this, for hours at a time. And I said to her, Mom, can you do me a favor? And she goes, sure, what? I said, can you just move your finger like this? And she did that. I said, great, what about the other one? And she did that. I said, what about the third one? And she did that. We started with her left hand because she's left hand, then her right hand. Then I had her move her right leg up and her left leg up. And we did literally maybe 2 or 3 minutes of exercise. And then we got her caregiver to do that with her 3 times a day. I was just in Montreal last month, and my 87-year-old mother, who was basically at death's door, was on the bike in the physiotherapy room, speaking, talking, communicating better than she was when she was in her 70s. Now, what happened? And the answer was we helped her retrain her brain from that disempowering pattern that put her at death's door to an empowered pattern. Right? Where she's, I talked to her this morning on the way here. How are you? And I'm having a conversation with her where I couldn't have a conversation with her just 2-3 years ago, 5 years ago. And so I know that you're never too old.
Yeah.
Right? Because now I tell her, I exercise. She goes, me too.
Yeah.
Every day. And now she can't not do it.
That's right. I know. Isn't that just amazing how that works? The brain and the body, it just completely fascinates me.
Me too.
Yeah, right?
It's the most powerful organism in our known universe, right? Yeah. And there's 108 or so billion people that have lived before us, right? Or 105 before us. So a lot of research has gone into understanding this amazing brain that we have.
Yeah.
And we're finally getting the user's manual so we could just use what we already own. We don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's the most powerful biocomputer in the known universe, and so we can learn how to use it better. And this is what this is all about.
I know. And I've been working with a guy called Dr. Joe Dispenza for a number of years now. And I've seen how people, when they are visualizing,
Yeah.
and they're, I had one woman in particular in Australia that just made me cry. And she created a mind movie, and she had ALS, and she'd been in a chair for 7 years. And so she was watching this mind movie, but she was visualizing and seeing herself walking. And she actually got up and walked on the beach.
Wow.
And I can tell you hundreds of stories like that, because when you can combine what you're seeing in your mind as a very vivid picture, and especially when you can put yourself in that. So rather than seeing yourself as a character in a movie, you're actually feeling, all your senses are at play there. And it's so real to your subconscious mind that it actually, it believes that this is your future. This is actually your reality.
It believes it's your reality. The subconscious mind doesn't have the ability to accept or reject what you impress into it.
Yes.
So it believes whatever you put in there as true and real. The conscious mind, on the other hand, does know this is real, that's not real, but that's not the power center. The conscious mind is there to choose, right? The subconscious mind is there to implement and just act out and expect.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think repetition is also the key.
Yeah. Well, if you think about, you talked earlier about exercise, and I know for me that's helped me as well. If you go to the gym one time and you do 2 push-ups, you're not going to build, strength or muscles. Or if you go for a hike or a bike or do Pilates or yoga, doing something one time, you get some awareness around it. You might even actually be sore if you haven't done it for a while. But if you do it, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, we start to develop some strength around that pattern. And if you take a constructive pattern and you do that, and you do it, 10 times, 50 times, 100 times, that neuromuscle, as I like to call it, becomes stronger. And the muscles that become stronger become dominant, and they want to do what? They want to lead the way. Right? And so this is the exact same thing. So when we visualize, we're just using a mental faculty, okay, that most people don't practice. So just like if you don't practice yoga, it's not, you're not going to be strong at it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, which is why I'm so happy that our viewers are here watching today, so that they can actually embrace this new concept, or embrace this new science, and be able to make those changes to their brains.
Well, what's interesting is the science isn't new. Right? If we go back, into the space program, back into the 60s, one of our friends, Dr. Dennis Waitley, was actually using visualization with the astronauts before they went to the moon, so they could memorize the sequences that they needed to. And what was he doing with them? He was creating subconscious automatic patterns. So even though we didn't have the science then to prove how it worked or why it works, they were doing it before the science existed. Today, the science is absolutely unequivocally there saying this works. And we know why and how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for geeking out of me with that. I love the sciencey stuff. That's my thing. But what does this really mean practically for our viewers? I mean, what's an example of something that's happened for people that you've worked with who are able to, change these neural pathways? What are some of the things that you've seen with people that you've worked with?
So one that just pops to my mind is one of our clients and friends, Heidi Hendler, who was 90 pounds overweight, taking pills every day for Crohn's disease, not sleeping well, not feeling attractive, feeling like she had failed her family and her husband, as they got into the years where they could do anything that they want to, but she didn't have the energy or the self-esteem to do that. And she started to rewire her brain. And she got off of all of her Crohn's medication after 10 years. She's lost and kept off 80 pounds of weight for the last several years. She and her husband are traveling. They're madly in love again. She's been an example for her children now of what's possible. And so, that's Heidi. And Heidi's probably in her 50s.
Yeah.
And then from the land down under, from Perth, Australia, you've got, Joni Sanderson, who raised 8 children on a widow's salary of $12,000 a year in a small town just outside of Perth.
Wow.
A social worker who basically gave, her work away for free because she didn't believe that she was worthy of it. And she started to rewire her brain and started earning $75,000 a year in a small town.
Yeah.
And she's in her 60s. And so, when you change the inside, the outside reflects the inside.
Right.
And so I can share with you thousands of stories around people who've made more money, people who've lost weight and kept it off, people who've started businesses that are successful, people who had failing businesses that turned them around, people that were, in love and something happened to the relationship where they fell out of love, that got back together. When you change, Wayne Dyer had a great saying, right? He said, when you change the way you look at something, the thing that you look at changes.
Absolutely.
Well, why not start with changing the way you look at yourself?
Yeah. Now, we have a lot of stories like that from our community as well. Hard to choose one, but we had one woman who was, her name was Liz DeZino, and she had struggled with stress and anxiety and depression for years. So when Liz wrote into us, she said things like, I thought my anxiety was going to be normal for the rest of my life, and I was ready to give up. But since I started using Matrix, which is something I'm going to talk to you about in a moment, and she was listening to the subliminal audios, she said her anxiety went down and it really felt magical. And for years, she was not even able to sleep properly.
Wow. Well, that's what stress will do for you.
Absolutely, right? And so by using the program, she's able to get a huge difference in her sleep. She started to feel alive again. She started to feel healthy again. And she was exceptionally grateful, for being able to use those tools to be able to make such a big difference in her life. But that's just what other people have to say. Today we want you to be able to experience the amazing shift for yourself. So are you ready for that? Now, of course you are. Now, you can't change all of the thought patterns and neural pathways that you need to overnight. That's something you need the right guidance and training for, which we'll get into in a moment. But for now, I'm going to give you a hands-on, or maybe I should say brains-on experience, so that you can get an idea how this works and what it feels like for yourself. So I'm going to guide you through a very simple but very powerful process where we're going to actually use EFT to help you to release procrastination as a habit. And then we're going to help you replace that with the belief that you can actually get things done. Now, in case you're not familiar with EFT, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And this technique is extremely effective for everything from balancing your energy to reducing physical and emotional pain, for releasing PTSD, releasing negative habits and beliefs like procrastination, which we're going to do today. Now, in this case, we're going to have you identify where you are procrastinating in your life right now. And we're going to use EFT to help you to release that habit so it no longer holds you back from what you want to achieve. So just follow along with me, and by the end of it, you'll have a tool that you can quickly and easily do anytime you start to procrastinate on a task that you know will lead you through to the healthy, wealthy, loving life that you truly deserve, so that you can achieve any goal that you set for yourself without resistance from your subconscious mind. Now, does that sound something that would be very helpful? All right, here we go. Okay, now I'd like you to start by getting into a comfortable position. So let me first show you the meridian points that we will be tapping on during this exercise. So we're going to start with the karate point here. And you're just using, 4 fingers, tapping on that point. And then as we go through the points, we're going to be tapping here, the top of the eyebrow, here at the side of the eye, here underneath the eye, here above the lip, here below the lip, here on the collarbone, just underneath the collarbone, here, which is underneath the arm, and the top of the head. So when you're tapping, you're using 3 to 4 fingers and just tapping away. All right, okay, so are you ready? All right, so what I'd like you to do is take a nice deep breath in and close your eyes. So breathing in and breathing out. So next time you breathe in, I'd like you to focus on a time or a task that you know you need to get done, but for some reason you've just procrastinated on doing it. Maybe it's something that will move you closer to the wealth or the health or the love that you want, but you just keep putting it off. You'll clean the kitchen, you'll wash the dog, you'll clean out that little coin drawer in the car, you'll do anything but what you really need to do. So this could be anything from making a phone call to a potential client, setting up your website for your business, having an important but uncomfortable conversation with your boss, going on a date, or just getting your butt to the gym. It could even be something simple like starting a meditation practice or writing in a gratitude journal every day. So what's something that you've really been wanting to do, but for some reason you just can't do it? I want you to see yourself in that situation as if it's happening right now. And I'd like you to connect to how you are feeling in this moment. So what are you feeling? Are you feeling dejected, frustrated, helpless, defeated? Or are you feeling fear? Fear of failure or fear of success? Now I want you to really feel that feeling. And I want you to magnify that feeling so our tapping exercise will be most effective. So what I want you to do to really magnify that feeling is to think about the opportunity that you're missing out on because you just can't do this task. Think about the people that you're not helping, the raise that you're not getting, the love that you're missing out on, or the clothes that just don't fit you anymore. And really tap into that emotion and feel as if it's happening now. Now on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, I want you to feel that emotion at a 10. Can you feel it? Okay, great. All right, now I want you to open your eyes and we're going to start tapping. Okay, so we're going to start here. And I want you to repeat after me. Even though I procrastinate, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I procrastinate on whatever task you're procrastinating on, I choose to honor, love, and accept myself. Even though I procrastinate on my task, I love, honor, and accept myself. Now, when I say your task, I want you to put in the task that you've thought of that you just can't do right now, okay? I just can't do that task. I just can't do that task. All this overwhelm. I just can't do it. I failed so many times. How can I believe in myself? With all this negative evidence. Who do I think I am? I'll never be happy. I'll never be rich. What if I do this task and I just fail again? I'll be disappointed. So disappointed. And I'll fail again. I'm just so overwhelmed. So overwhelmed. I just can't do my task. Well, maybe it's not true. I mean, I have done this before. If I can do it once, I can do it again. have the ability to be happy. I can do what it takes. I have the strength. I have the confidence. I can achieve anything I put my mind to. I'm wasting time with that old fear. I'm wasting time with that old habit. I know it's not true. I deserve to be rich. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be healthy. It's my birthright. And I choose to believe in myself. I can do that. I can do anything. Okay, now take a deep breath. And I want you to try and tap into that feeling again of when you procrastinated on something. Now, how true does that feel to you now? So on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you emotionally? And can you even feel that feeling anymore? You will be getting a recording of this. And this is a tool that you can now use any time that you begin to procrastinate on an action that you know you need to take to move closer to your goals. So just insert the task that you're procrastinating on in the script and play the recording. Well done. Well, how do you feel? Now, you've just completed a very powerful guided process that has helped you to identify and release your habit of procrastination so that you no longer need to feel overwhelmed or held down by it. Now, we use EFT to help to reprogram this change at a subconscious level, but making your thoughts and your emotions work together to melt away this old habit permanently. Now, I should mention here that even if you may not have felt anything on a conscious level, the beauty of this exercise is that it's working subconsciously. Now, what this means is that while you might not notice anything straight away, deep positive changes are still happening in your mind, which will sometimes reveal themselves in wonderfully surprising ways to you over the coming weeks and days. So, for example, you might find yourself doing things that you previously found really difficult, and maybe you feel even far more positive and motivated to do whatever tasks you need to and get things done. So you won't be procrastinating, and it'll be interesting to see how this shows up for you over the next days and weeks. Now, the great news is that I would love to gift you that exercise. Now, this audio download is valued at $47, but today it's my gift to you, and I'll give you the link to download it at the very end of our training session today, which will be wrapping up pretty soon.
That is amazing. And guiding people through that should give them the experience of how simple it is. And this is exactly the type of training when you get a guided place to do this with, and you repeat this over and over again, this is what helps you rewire your subconscious mind. And when you realize that you're procrastinating and you do this and you see yourself achieving the results that you want, this is really the key that anybody could do anywhere, anytime. So I love it.
Yeah. You know, and that's the reason that a lot of people feel stuck, even when they want to change their beliefs. Because even though they may have a desire to make positive changes in their lives, so many of our students tell us that they just don't even know where to begin, or they don't even know what they should be doing on a daily basis. They don't even know how to get started, and that they fear that they will fail when they do. So the exercise that you just experienced is a great starting point. But please know that it takes consistency, time, and dedication, so you will need to use it often. And you should also look around for other EFT exercises that target specific areas of life too. Now, that's just one way to change your habits and beliefs. But as I'm about to show you, there's actually another much faster way to approach it. In fact, if you liked that exercise, then wow, you are going to love what comes next. You see, what you're about to see is some truly mind-blowing technology and techniques that you can use not only to change your habits, but to lock in those changes through an easy daily practice that only takes a few minutes. And boy, let me tell you, if you're like thousands of others that have used it, it will transform your entire life at a rapid pace. Now, it's called My Movies Matrix, and you're familiar with how it works, right, John?
Yes, I am, Natalie, and it's so great because you're 100% right. It is possible to create new neural pathways, which are beliefs and habits and neural muscles in your brain. Just imagine if you did that every single day. The exercise that you just did, that Natalie walked you through, when you do that every day, that's how you reinforce those neural patterns. And that's exactly why Mind Movies Matrix ticks all of the boxes, literally for anyone, because it creates quick and permanent change in just a few minutes a day, which I absolutely love. And maybe you can explain a little bit more about it for people who may not understand it fully.
Yeah, absolutely. So My Movies Matrix is a program that combines our My Movies visualization technology with brainwave entrainment and subliminal messaging for a kind of amazing triple strength way to rewire and reprogram your subconscious to do exactly what you want it to do. Now, just quickly, in case you don't know what our My Movies technology is, now a My Movie is a 3-minute video vision board of your perfect life. It's filled with powerful affirmations, beautiful images, and uplifting music. And a My Movie is extremely powerful, and by watching it for just 3 minutes a day, it automatically reprograms your subconscious mind to attract the amazing life that you desire. Now, I think it's important to know that the brainwave entrainment that we use was created under the guidance of Morry Zelcovitch, who happens to be one of the first certified brainwave entrainment engineers in the world. Now, because of this, his skills are sought after by some of the world's top governments and corporations and visionaries in search of pinnacle human performance. So we were extremely fortunate that he agreed to collaborate on a new form of subconscious reprogramming technology that could quickly and reliably awaken nearly superhuman potential in almost anyone. Because this is not the kind of thing that he would normally do at all, which is why you really can't find this anywhere else. So what we created together is a perfect combination of Mind Movies visualization technology and brainwave entrainment and subliminal technology. I then ended up becoming My Movies Matrix, where you can just in 6 minutes a day, you can transform the 4 core areas of your life as your brain literally gets rewired without any effort on your side.
And that's why this is such a groundbreaking program. And you know, Natalie, I remember way back in 2010 when I was involved in your big Mind Movies launch and software, and I was amazed by it back then. And it was a total game changer back then. You've made it even better. And for the first time ever, somebody can create the best visualization and manifestation movie of their perfect life, and then they could use it on their computer or on their mobile devices, anywhere they are. And the music that you can tie into it to get those positive emotions and feelings and affirmations makes it so powerful. But I also know that the matrix that you're now creating, or that you've now created, combines the latest technology and brainwave entrainment technology and subliminal messaging, which is a really amazing and powerful combination. I've been studying, different ways to access the subconscious mind for years and years and years, and I absolutely love that combination. So do you want to explain that a little bit right now?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So listen closely. Here's how it works. So first, the brainwave entrainment and the subliminal messaging stimulate your brain's neurochemicals to bring you into an optimal state of clarity and openness. Now, this is a place where resistance and stress and negativity can no longer touch you, and you feel so completely relaxed and at peace as you listen. Then, once your mind is in this optimal state, the Mind Movies visualization begins to flow deep into your subconscious to rewire your brain for ultimate success in that area of your life. And it's a very powerful change. Now, I just have to tell you that after we and our students started using this blend of technology for just a few minutes a day, we realized that the positive effects were far beyond anything that we ever experienced in the past. Like, for instance, you don't just get short breaks from the stress and anxiety of your daily life like you do with traditional meditation or visualization. You actually find yourself in a state of permanent calmness and clarity. you don't just gain better control of your daily habits and actions, you actually find yourself naturally choosing what's best for your body, your mind, and your bank account. Now, this is a fantastic way to achieve any goal where maybe it was your own willpower held you back in the past, like losing weight or kicking that procrastination habit. Now, the unpredictable waves of self-doubt and negativity that in the past may have stopped you from showing up or performing at your peak have now been replaced with unshakable sense of personal power and positivity, meaning that you're always moving confidently towards your financial, career, and personal goals, no matter what the world throws at you. And the qualities that you need to get the upper hand in your work relationships, like creativity and intuition and intelligence and empathy, no longer just come to you in flashes. You actually become consistently better at solving problems and manifesting creative ideas, connecting with people, and leaving your friends and co-workers wondering, wow, how did you do that? And one fascinating side effect is also that you notice far more positive coincidences gravitating into your life with astonishing consistency as your surroundings start aligning with your mind's higher vibrations. So whether it's chance encounters with long-lost friends or financial career opportunities just falling into your lap.
All I can say is wow, and you've really nailed it, because this program is simple to understand, easy to use. When you combine the brainwave entrainment plus subliminal messaging and visualization, that's a complete brain upgrade, and this means you're going to be experiencing complete freedom from limiting beliefs, disempowering thought patterns, or disempowering habits that are holding you back. And you naturally start to see success in the key areas of your life as you become the best version of yourself. Every cell in your mind and your body starts to work for you instead of against you. So, is that what the program is really going to do? And is that what it's all about?
Well, look, yes, and there's a lot involved in it. Let me just give you the simple version first. Now, it's important to know that every part of the Mind Movies Matrix system, apart from the sleep meditation audio, is divided into 4 sets, each one focusing on a key area of your life. So number 1 is the Manifesting Wealth and Achievement Matrix Mind Movie set that empowers you with the beliefs, behaviors, and emotions of the world's wealthiest and most successful people. And it erases the ones that are sabotaging your earnings and achievements. Number 2 is the Enhancing and Deepening Relationships Matrix Mind Movie set. Now this helps to minimize misunderstandings and arguments, and it gives you more empathy and positivity with your spouse, your co-workers, kids, and family members. Number 3 is the Weight Loss and Optimal Health Matrix Mind Movie set, which shakes off the unhealthy habits and develops autopilot habits for eating right and exercising well and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, even if nothing has worked for you in the past. And number 4 is the Finding or Nurturing the Perfect Partner Matrix Mind Movie set. So it grows you into the person your perfect partner wants to be with, or returns the excitement, fulfillment, and joy to your existing relationship.
I absolutely love that, Nat. Those are definitely key areas in my life, in your life, in everybody's life that so many people struggle with.
Right. So that's the 4 key topics. And here's exactly what you get for each of them. So firstly, you're going to get 4 Brainwave Entrainment Matrix Mind Movies. Now these combine potent brainwave entrainment sounds with the visuals and subconscious suggestions of a classic mind movie. So all you need to do is watch it first thing in the morning for just 3 minutes with headphones and let the sounds and visuals imprint themselves onto your subconscious. Now this primes you for peak performance throughout the day. Second, you're getting 4 subliminal matrix mind movies. Again, 1 for each area of life. Now these are similar to the brainwave entrainment matrix mind movies, except they replace the brainwave entrainment sounds with upbeat music and millions of subtle yet powerful subliminal suggestions designed to burrow deep into your subconscious and program you for your desired outcome. So you watch this one for just 3 minutes in the evening. Next, you're getting 4 60-minute subliminal audios that you can listen to at any time for a positive boost to your emotions, your thoughts, and your manifesting power. So you can go ahead and play one while you're working, on your lunch break, or even when you're commuting to work. And you'll look forward to melting into the relaxing voice and sounds of nature that we've recorded with them. Now remember, you don't have to listen to these every day. or any day for that matter. They are an added bonus and will help you to turbocharge your results. And then finally, you'll get 2 soothing sleep meditation audios, both a guided and a non-guided version. So this meditation calms and prepares your mind not just for a restful sleep, but conditions it to accumulate inspiration, energy, and purpose to achieve your specific goal while you're asleep. Now, this is important because since your mind will be going through such profound positive change, your sleep patterns could be affected by the shifts in your subconscious. So if you have trouble sleeping, these sleep meditations will let you fall asleep easily and get a wonderful night's rest every single night. Even if you don't have trouble sleeping, you'll actually feel energy improvements from using the meditations, and everything else in My Movies Matrix will work better for you. All right, so let's put this all together. So with the multi-sensory My Movies, the subliminal audios, and the sleep meditation, you're getting over a dozen amazing recordings to take your life to the very next level, and very quickly. So our 4 subliminal multi-sensory matrix My Movies on their own would each go for $149 each, coming to a value of $596 in the set. Then the 4 Brainwave Entrainment multi-sensory matrix My Movies are valued at $199 each, coming to $796 altogether. So you'll also get our subliminal audios at $49 each, totaling $196. Along with this, you also get our 2 sleep meditations, totaling $97. Now, adding all of this together, the package is valued at $1,685. But we here at My Movies are committed to helping as many people as possible, because even one person living at their fullest potential has the power to create a ripple effect and transform so many other lives around them. And that's our goal at My Movies. It's to uplift all of humanity, one person at a time. Now, we also understand that nearly $1,700 will be a bit of a stretch for a lot of people. So we've done everything that we can to make this first of its kind transformational program as affordable as we could.
And that's something that I love, because the more people use this, the more people achieve their goals, the more their families benefit, the more their communities benefit, the more all of us benefit.
Absolutely.
So go deeper.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're still here with us on this training and you truly want to transform your happiness, your success, and your sense of well-being in record time, then you can get started with My Movies Matrix for just $178.99 today, followed by only one more payment of $178.99, or one low payment of just $297. Now that's a huge 83% instant discount. Now this special price is only for webinar attendees, and it's our way of thanking you for joining us today and for making a commitment to living up to your fullest potential. But because we're dropping the price so much, there is a little bit of a catch, and I have a favor to ask, because we know how powerful this system is and we really want to get it out to the world. We would love to get your honest feedback after you experience the amazing results for yourself. So as you begin to use the program, we'd love you to email us about your experiences. And you can do that by sending an email to support@mindmovies.com, and maybe even tell your friends about it, especially if you're happy with your results. Does that sound like a fair exchange? And I tell you what, I'll even let you try the entire Matrix system for up to 1 year before deciding if it's for you. So if it works like we say it does, then whoa, your life has changed forever. And if it works even half or even a quarter of what we say it does, then you still come out on top. And if it doesn't, for whatever reason, in fact, even if you just change your mind or you just can't find the time to use it, email us within a year to support@mymovies.com for a full, fast, and friendly refund. But I've got something else to tell you, because we're so excited about this program and because we want to show our appreciation and gratitude to you for making the decision to change your life for the better. I've got a couple more surprises up my sleeve for you right now. Now, are you ready to be blown away? Now, firstly, we're going to throw in a full year's subscription to our Subliminal Success Accelerator package because it complements My Movies Matrix so well. Now, the Subliminal Success Accelerator is a premium membership that gives you access to a discussion forum where you can ask me and the rest of the My Movies community questions, a monthly subliminal audio with a different theme each month to add your subliminal audio library, a monthly live coaching call, and the most exciting part is My Movies Subliminal. Now, My Movie Subliminal allows you to continuously play your Matrix My Movies in the background of your computer while you're working or surfing the web or doing anything else online. So you can change the opacity so it plays faintly in the background of your screen, so there's not a minute that goes by that you are not absorbing the powerful messages in your Matrix My Movie. Now, this means that you are absorbing both visual and audio subliminals without any effort, day in and day out. Now, this membership is normally sold at $37 a month, adding up to $444 yearly value. And yes, we're going to throw this in at no extra cost. But that's not all we're going to do, because we're also going to throw in the instant online access to our Mind Mastery World Summit presentations as a special bonus if you order right now. Now, this contains recordings of one of the most powerful seminars in personal development history, and it sells right now on our website for $249. Now, on it we have over 14 hours of transformational mind mastery in this set. We have Bob Proctor, who is the undisputed grandmaster of the self-development world and the cornerstone teacher of The Secret. We have someone whose name happens to be John Assaraf, who's here with us today, along with Bob Doyle, who's also from The Secret as well. We have T. Harv Eker, who's the author of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind and the master trainer on the inner game of wealth. Myself, of course, and many other mind mastery experts. That's right. Now, this is an amazing opportunity for you to be able to connect with all of these speakers absolutely free, just for your purchase of My Movies Matrix. So with the $444 Subliminal Success Accelerator yearly membership, the $249 Mind Mastery World Summit online access, you get an added $693 of value. So with everything combined, you are getting a total value of $2,378, all for the super low price of just $178.99 today, followed by only one more payment of $178.99.
Now, Natalie, that is a great, phenomenal deal, and I'm so happy that you're offering this incredible technology, the payment options, and the ability for people to change their lives, which is so easy and so powerful. And here's one thing that I know you know. The best investment you can make is in yourself, to literally upgrade yourself, your self-worth, your beliefs from the inside out. And doing this makes you more efficient at work. Doing this helps you make better decisions. It helps you create better habits. It helps you create the beliefs required in order to succeed. Imagine how much wealth you are going to earn by getting your mindset right. Imagine what being the best, most powerful version of yourself means to you and your family. Can you imagine yourself making more money and saving more money? What about imagine yourself breaking the habits that are holding you back right now? What about imagining right now you having 2 or 3 or 4 times more money in the bank, you being healthier, you having more energy and vitality? That is possible when you use the Mind Movies Matrix program to rewire your brain.
Now, we've had so much success with this program, as I mentioned, it's unbelievable. I mean, people are writing into us thanking us for finally creating a program that works and is doable within their daily busy lives. Actually, let me share a couple of stories now. I can't tell you how happy I am when I receive them.
That's the best part, is when we get the reviews from people who are achieving the results they want naturally and easy. So go ahead and share them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so first, let me introduce you to one of our dearest Matrix students, a fashion boutique owner from London named Adriana Green, who used the Wealth My Movies Matrix to get incredible exposure for her business without spending a cent on advertising. So let me play this video quickly for you now.
I was probably over the first few weeks, I started to feel more positive. Just waking up in the mornings, actually feeling positive, not in a negative state of mind. And then things that were negative or anything that came along in my path, I could manage to turn it around into a positive. So my understanding and my thinking was actually turning everything around into a positive thought, or looking at a good outcome for it instead of looking at it as negative, oh no, it's the end of the world.
So here's another one of our dear Matrix students, a philanthropist named Virginia Hall, who used My Movies Matrix to spark a synchronicity in her life, where she was able to raise funds for a fundraiser and from donors that she didn't even know. So let me play this one for you.
I found myself in a much more positive place mentally, and it was phenomenal, actually. In hindsight, I was thinking about that year and the things that came up so very unexpectedly. One of them was that I was participating in Team Entrainment for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. My goal was to raise $2,000, and out of the blue, someone I had never even met donated $500 to me. Ultimately, I ended up raising almost $5,000, so I more than doubled my goal, and I really attribute that to Matrix. I mean, because money was coming in from people I didn't even know. And then later that year, I had put in my mind movie. My daughter was actually doing study abroad in Paris, and I really wanted to go see her. And one of the slides I said, in 2016, I will go to Paris. And I had no idea how I was going to get there. And let me tell you, in the mail one day, this envelope showed up from an insurance company, and I was about to throw it out because I get all these solicitations from insurance companies all the time. It was a check for $8,000 from a relative who had died. I had no idea that there was an insurance policy or that I was named. $8,000. So I managed to take my whole family over we spent Christmas in Paris. Things like that don't happen.
Now, finally, I want to introduce you to Anna Mika, one of our dear Matrix students who uses My Movies Matrix along with other things to stay positive during the day and sleep like a baby at night. So let me show you this video quickly.
It has worked exactly, like I said, exactly like you said, all of it. But I think the key is you have to listen to it. If you're not consistently listening to it, you're not going to get the benefit from it. But I love it. I love the sounds of nature, the crickets, there's all, like you said, there's all different kinds, but they've all helped me. They've all helped me in exactly the same way. They've all created positive action, stuff that I'm doing now that I didn't know where I got it from. And I thought, oh, I bet that's what it is. I bet it's because I've been listening to that stuff. And people are saying, Anna, you're different. What's going on with you? You're so energetic and you seem so happy. And I was like, you got to take this class. So the affirmation is great because I also have a team of people that do get together and do dream boards. And I said, look, this is like a moving dream board. It's the most awesome thing. It's just, like I said, it takes that affirmation to the next level. And I've also got stuff on my mirror in my bathroom, my affirmations. And I love the fact that everything is as if it's already happened.
Wow, guys, isn't this amazing? And you can see what results people get with My Movies Matrix, and it really depends on what you're focusing on. Actually, John, why do you think that My Movies Matrix is so powerful?
Well, I think, number one, it gets people to focus on exactly what it is that they want, but not just focus on it. It gets them to reprogram their subconscious mind. It gets them to activate the neurotransmitters of the goals and dreams that they have while they're listening, while they're watching, while they're really entrenched in that being their new reality. And that is what is required in order to create that coherence,
right,
between the goals and vision that they want and the behaviors required to actually achieve it, and to be in that energetic state where you're in harmony with all of the things that you want to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other nice thing about this package is that you get all of the benefits of all of these elements multiplied. The affirmations, the subliminal messages, the brainwave entrainment, all become greater together than the sum of their parts. And it's the combination of all of them that makes them so powerful. Now, all you have to do is invest just a few minutes in the morning watching your chosen brainwave entrainment matrix My Movie, then a few minutes in the afternoon or the evening watching the subliminal matrix My Movie on the same topic. So just doing this and nothing else, you will see amazing change. Then, if you like, throughout the day, you can enjoy listening to the beautiful subliminal audio that lightly plays in the background as you go about your work or your daily tasks. And at night, enjoy the sleep meditation to ensure that you get a really deep and restful night's sleep. And I think that's what I love most about this program. is that all of the hard work is done for you. You just have to spend a few minutes a day and then watch the transformations that happen in your life.
Yep, that's right. It's that easy. Even if you're busy, everybody can invest, 6 or 7 minutes a day to retrain their brains or rewire their brains. And I highly recommend that you get your hands on this program and then use it, achieve the results, and send in some more amazing stories to Natalie and to Mind Movies about the success that you're achieving.
Well, Don, I have to thank you so much, because even if you don't decide to take us up on My Movies Matrix today, you have a ton of tools and information to go it alone and to improve your life through repetition and daily action. So I'm so grateful that you could be here with us, John.
It's so good to be here. I love to support you, but more importantly, I love to support the program and products that I know help the lives of so many people. I know earlier we talked about, 5.8 million people, your programs have helped already. And so what I'm hoping is that you watching right now, you jump on this opportunity and take advantage of this right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your wisdom and your time. And guys, now is the time for you to take action. So if you are ready to improve the 4 key areas of your life quickly and almost effortlessly, place your order right now in order to secure your discount and your bonuses. Now remember, procrastination is a limiting thought pattern too. And if you find yourself hesitating, if you find yourself putting this off or telling yourself it's too much work, remember how thoughts like that have held you back in the past. Oh, and wow, I nearly forgot one of the best parts. And that is that I want you to try it today 100% risk-free. You see, even though I've seen how well this works for countless students, I know that to you, this is brand new. And you might still be wondering, well, will this really work for me? So what my team and I have decided to do is to extend our regular 60-day money-back guarantee by 6 times. So you'll have an entire year to put it to the test, and then only after you've seen the results for yourself do you have to make your final decision. So you actually have 365 days to do that. So basically, if it works like we say it does, then whoa, your life has changed forever. And if it works even half or quarter as well as we say it does, you still come way out on top. And if it doesn't for whatever reason, in fact, even if you just change your mind or you can't find the time to use it, email us within 1 whole year at support@mymovies.com for a full, fast and friendly refund, no questions asked. Because the truth is, especially right now in these turbulent times, we really want nothing to hold you back from experiencing this incredible transformation. So thanks again, John, for joining us. I really appreciate all of your time.
Thank you, Natalie, and thanks to everybody who's been watching up until now. And like I said, winners take action. And I love your 1 year money back guarantee. I don't think I've ever seen one that's that long. So you're putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, before I go, I've got something to reveal to all of you who've decided to join me in My Movies Matrix. So if that's you, please stay here for just 1 more minute, because I have some exciting news for you. Now, to everybody else, I hope that you enjoyed what we shared today and will use this to break through your negative habits and live a life of happiness and success. Now, it's been great having you here, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say congratulations for deciding to change your life with My Movies Matrix. I'd like to do one more thing before I sign off, and that's to answer the most common questions that have been coming through. So you see, whether it's about the My Movies Matrix system or about the technology behind it, or even if you're still not sure whether My Movies Matrix is for you, I am committed to making sure that you're clear on all of this, because I'm so confident that once you understand what you're getting here, you're going to be 100% on board and you're going to have a life-changing experience with this technology. All right, so let's quickly dive in. Now, question number 1 is, how exactly do I use My Movies Matrix, and is it hard? Well, the thing about My Movies Matrix is that it goes deep into your subconscious, but on a conscious level, it takes no effort whatsoever, except just for concentrating on it for just a few minutes. So is it hard? Absolutely not. But let me refresh you just really quickly on exactly how to use it. So the first thing you want to do is choose the area of the life that you want to work on. Now remember, you've got 4 key areas: attracting wealth and achievement, enhancing and deepening relationships, weight loss and optimal health, and finding or nurturing the perfect partner. Then you just use the Matrix Mind Movie set that corresponds to that area of life. So you've got your 3-minute Matrix Mind Movie for the morning. Now these are laced with very potent brainwave entrainment technology, and it's really quite amazing how they absorb positive messages into your subconscious mind, and how this short 3-minute experience can keep you in a peak condition all day. Then in the evening, you want to turn your speakers up and listen to your 3-minute subliminal mind movie that embeds millions of positive subliminal commands to keep your subconscious in peak condition. Plus, you've got the subliminal audio that you can use as a booster for any time throughout the day, and a sleep meditation audio to lock in your subconscious workout even while you're asleep. Now, the entire system is super simple, super efficient, and yet surprisingly transformational. And anyone can use it, whether you're 8 or if you're 80. All right, next question is, what results should I expect to see exactly? And how long before I see them? Well, there's no one answer for this question, because the results you get really depend on which area of life that you want to focus on. But when we're talking about subconscious reprogramming, it always boils down to upgrades in the quality of your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, and amazingly, even the people and the circumstances that you attract into your life. So let me give you an example of this. So let's say that you decide to focus on the wealth portion of the system, which is what a lot of people do. Then you can expect to find yourself developing an instinct for abundance and achievement. You'll find your old habits and emotions that caused you to lose money will just start to melt away, like fear or procrastination or hesitation to make investments. Now you'll also find yourself more productive and focused at work, and even getting along better with your clients and your co-workers and your boss. Plus, you'll notice many more abundant opportunities, people, and coincidences just start gravitating into your life. And what this really means is that the universe itself starts aligning with the vibrations of your upgraded subconscious thoughts. Now, it's not unusual for my students to report getting a bonus or a raise out of nowhere, or a surprise check in the mail, or a chance encounter with someone who ends up offering you a lucrative new job or even a better dream career. Now, apart from wealth, it blows my mind when I see what Mind Movies Matrix students use this technology to pull off in their own lives. Now, Darby Stolk, for instance, used the technology to work on many areas of her life at once. And let me read what she said. She said, "I started using Mind Movies Matrix a couple of weeks ago. Amazing things have been happening. I've been able to mend a relationship that had suffered due to misunderstanding. My appetite has decreased tremendously and I've lost 10 pounds, but even better, I've started taking my walks again. My mind is clearer, sharper than ever before, and my emotions are under control. I recommend Mind Movies to anyone want to effect change in their lives." And then there's people like Carol Black, who noticed Mind Movies Matrix helps them attract the things that they want into their lives. She said, "I've been viewing Mind Movies Matrix for several weeks now, and I'm starting to experience some remarkable changes. I seem to be attracting happy, positive people everywhere I go. Even walking through a busy shopping center, people are making eye contact with me and smiling. Now, as a result of the Matrix program, I have attracted a more joy-filled way of relating and being. I feel a lot more connected, and I'm now working on my financial situation to manifest changes in that area as well." Now, another goal that people use Mind Movies Matrix for is deeper, more restful sleep. Like Carolyn Schweitzer, she said, "Normally I need 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep in order to feel rested. Now, I also have a very hard time falling asleep, and I can lie there for up to an hour just waiting for sleep to come. Then I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't get back to sleep," and which is a symptom of menopause, I'm told. Now, since I started using the sleep recording, I drift off peacefully without ever making it to the end of the 30 minutes. Even more remarkable is that I've been waking up consistently after only 5 to 6 hours of sleep, feeling rested with no more middle of the night awakenings." And then there's also people like Gail Pence, who combine Mind Movies Matrix with other personal growth techniques, and even the other Mind Movies technology. So like Gail Pence says, she says, "I started working with Mind Movies 4.0 and felt very excited about how much it enhanced my ability to visualize my perfect life. I had been studying the law of attraction, and this was an easy way to inject emotion and clarity into my visualizations. Now, I was reading and watching videos, but I did not have the laser focus necessary to really achieve the goals that I have. And then I purchased the Mind Movies Matrix, and everything in my life is vibrating in and moving in a positive direction. I am energized, I'm sleeping better, I'm accomplishing more every day. Mind Movies Matrix utilizes cutting-edge science that expedites the changes taking place in the brain and in your life. And I've lost 5 pounds, I've had unexpected money come to me, I'm working on several projects that have the potential to bring in substantial amounts of money. So as for how soon all of this happens, well, it really depends on where you're at and where you want to be. So each person's subconscious and neurological development is different. But in general, it should take you anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of months to start seeing meaningful changes in your thinking patterns and your habits and your emotions. Now remember, this doesn't mean that changes aren't already taking place even way before you start noticing. Just think of it like a seed's been planted, and you only see it once it sprouts. But that doesn't mean that changes aren't happening beneath the surface. Okay, so up next we have a question about price. So someone's saying that they're concerned and they're not sure if they can afford it. And trust me here, I completely understand if you're concerned about the price. Because yes, on the surface, $297 might seem like a lot of money. But the thing is, you're not really investing in another personal growth home training program. And you're not even investing in the technology behind those audios, which we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of our lives to develop. So you're investing in the subconscious upgrade, which will turn up in all sorts of wins and breakthroughs and opportunities and outcomes in every area of life that matters to you. And when you see it that way, can you really afford not to have this investment? Wouldn't you invest $297 to earn more money and to perform better in your career for the rest of your life? So to get healthier and to lose weight, to find or nurture your soulmate, or to connect better with the people who matter. All of these outcomes are priceless. And the fact is, it would still be a no-brainer even if Mind Movies Matrix was 10 times more the cost that it is. Oh, and remember, if you need a more affordable payment scheme, you can opt for 2 easy monthly payments of just $178.99. Look, investing in yourself is the best kind of investment that you can make. More than any vacation that you can take or car that you can buy or nice dinner that you can eat. Now, I remember back before Mind Movies blew up, my partner Glenn and I were struggling. I mean, we had trouble paying the office rent. We could barely hire any staff, and we went months without paying ourselves a cent. But you know what we always set money aside for? Learning. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on workshops and books and training programs and masterminds and technology to help us get to our peak and stay there. So why did we do that? Well, because we knew that that would ultimately not just make or break our business, but our lives as well. Now, the investment paid off for us, and I know that it will pay off for you too. All right, next question. It says, I've got a really busy life and I actually already have my own personal growth practices. Will I really have time for Mind Movies Matrix? Okay, now remember, all you need is 6 minutes a day. And that's not even 6 tough minutes. That's 6 relaxing, enjoyable minutes. Look, no matter how busy you are, I am sure that you can set aside 6 minutes a day. Anyone can, even if it just means checking Facebook for a few minutes less every day, or getting up just 3 minutes earlier than usual. And the beauty of it is, once you start optimizing your subconscious, you'll find yourself getting less and less busy. So why is that? Well, it's because the habits, the autopilot actions, and the stray thoughts that once sucked up so much of your time, they start to disappear, and you become a far more efficient and productive person. Now, I know since I started using Mind Movies Matrix, I would look at my day before I started using Matrix and realize that there was all these time sucks. Like, I'd get onto Facebook and then next like half an hour gone. Or I'd look at what I had achieved that day and realize that there were these holes in my day where I had nothing productive happening. But after watching Mind Movies Matrix and getting that into a daily practice, what I find is that every minute of my day is accounted for. And I feel like I'm much more clearer in the way that I think, and I'm much more motivated to do what I do, and not just doing my usual tasks, but the hard things that I need to do as well. I just seem to have the motivation to be able to get in there and do it. And it's made such a massive difference. All right, so I'm going to answer 2 more questions. The first one is, how can I access and use the program? All right, so first of all, you will need a computer or a tablet or a smartphone to play your Matrix My Movies on. And it works pretty much on any brand or any operating system. Then you'll need some headphones for the Brainwave Entrainment Matrix My Movies, and you'll need speakers for your subliminal My Movies. And basically that's it. Okay, so the next question is, what do I get in the package? All right, so you get a Brainwave Entrainment Matrix My Movie and a Subliminal Matrix My Movie for each of the 4 categories. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's wealth, relationships, weight loss and health, and the perfect partner. Meaning you've got 4 unique Brainwave Entrainment Matrix My Movies and 4 unique Subliminal Matrix My Movies. Now, you also get hour-long subliminal audios that you can listen to when you're working or doing the housework, or even when you're commuting. Plus, you've also got the 2 sleep meditations for a subconscious workout, even when you're asleep. And then, of course, there are the bonuses that give you an even deeper personal transformational experience. Now, you also have the 12-month access to the Subliminal Success Accelerator monthly mentorship program, plus the full recording of our closed-door Mind Mastery World Summit. And remember, everything here is covered by our unconditional 12-month money-back guarantee that takes away any risk in you trying this out. And the last question for the day is, what if I try My Movies Matrix and decide that it's not for me? Well, that's exactly why we're giving you the 12-month money-back guarantee. Look, I'm not even asking you to decide now. I'm asking you to try My Movies Matrix, even up for an entire year, which is way more than enough time to see if the upgrades you experience in your life are worth at least 100 times more than the investment that you're making. Now, if they're not for any reason, in fact, even if you just can't find the time to get started on the system, just email us at support@mymovies.com and we'll give you a full, quick refund, no questions asked. You even get to keep the bonuses as my way of saying thank you for giving it a shot. So there really is absolutely no reason not to try on My Movies Matrix for yourself. The science is solid, the results are proven, and the offer is 100% risk-free. Okay, well, I'm signing off for today. Now remember, today is a great day to begin your new life and start living the one that you've always wanted. However, you do need to act right now to get this massive discount and all of the bonuses. Get started with our revolutionary Matrix My Movie program, and I'll see you on the other side. And I can't wait to hear how this changes your life.